Hi, I'm going to be talking about the Readiness and Organizational Learning and Evaluation, or ROLE. This is an instrument that is used by organizations to help determine the readiness for implementing organizational learning and evaluation practices and the processes that support it. This instrument initially came from a book from Haley Prisco and Darlene Torres titled Evaluative Inquiry for Learning and Organizations. It was eventually adapted into a concise survey to be used by organizations and included in this appendix of evaluation and organization. This instrument is designed to help organizations determine its level of readiness for implementing organizational learning and evaluation practices and the processes that support it. The results can be used to identify areas of strength as well as identifying areas of need. The rationale for this instrument is to help organizations respond to increasing internal and external demands for growth and success by helping them become learning organizations. Organizational learning is a continuous process of organizational growth and improvement that is integrated with work activities, invokes the alignment of values among organizational members, and uses information and feedback. This instrument has 6 major dimensions, including culture, leadership, systems and structures, communication, teams, and evaluation. The survey instrument includes 75 items using a Likert scale type from a scale of 1 to 5, including strongly disagree to strongly agree. The first dimension in this survey is culture with the domain of collaboration and problem solving. The survey instruments that are included in this domain are employees are provided opportunities to think and reflect on their work. Employees often just stop about the pressing work issues that they're facing, and there's little competition for employees for recognition and rewards. The next domain under the cultural dimension is risk-taking. Some of the items that are asked in this dimension are if mistakes made by employees are viewed as opportunities for learning, if employees are willing to take risks in the course of their work, and if they're confident that mistakes or failures won't affect them negatively. The last domain in this dimension of culture is participatory decision making. Some of the measures that are included here are if employees use data and information to inform decision making, employees are encouraged to take the lead in initiating change or in trying to do something different, and if managers and supervisors make decisions after considering the input of those affected. The next dimension is leadership. Some of the items that are included in this dimension are if managers and supervisors take on the role of coaching, mentoring, and facilitating employees' learning, managers support the sharing of knowledge and skills among employees, and if they provide the necessary time and support for systemic long-term change. The next dimension included on the survey are systems and structures with the domain of open and accessible work environment. These items include questions about boundaries between departments and units, employee availability, and workspace design. Rewards and recognition systems and practices is another important domain under the system and structures dimension. Employees are recognized or rewarded for experimenting with new ideas, for helping each other to learn, and helping solve organizational problems are all items included under this domain. The last domain under the system and structures dimension is the relationship of work to organizational goals. Employees understand how their work relates to the goals and missions of their organization, and they understand that their performance goals are clearly aligned with the organizational strategic goals. The fourth dimension covered in the role survey is communication of information, specifically its availability. This includes questions about if the information is gathered effectively from clients and stakeholders to gauge how well the organization is doing, and if there are adequate records of past change efforts and what has happened as a result of those efforts. This is followed by the dissemination component of communication of information. So how well that information is disseminated and how well employees are able to cross-perform various job functions, as well as being able to have access to information they need to make decisions. The fifth dimension of the survey covers team. Questions include whether or not they feel like team meetings are productive and facilitated well, and if they address team processes and work content. Another question asks if teams accomplish work they are charged to do in an effective way to meet organization's goals. The last dimension of the survey is evaluation. Evaluation is a process of systematic inquiry to provide information for decision making about a program, process, organization, or product. Use of evaluation results may lead to making refinements for the program or to offering new services or products. Additional information that is asked as part of the survey is which of the following best describes the employee's job category, which can be critical in understanding what levels of the structure may or may not be ready for organizational learning and evaluation. Lastly, and most importantly, the information that is gathered from this survey should be assessed in terms of means. So the average for each dimension is given a mean of either 1 to 4 depending on the group totals answers. An example of how the role survey can be evaluated is in an organization with about 50 employees. The mean scores for each dimension were calculated across the 50 respondents, and interpreting the results, the department management might conclude that domains that have mean scores above 3.5, 3.5 are doing quite well. And maybe those that are doing less than that are not doing so well, that might need some more work. For example, let's say system and structures got a 2.6, team had a 3.4, and evaluation had a 2.95. The managers now know that those are areas that we need to work on as an organization to improve evaluation and organizational learning. Thank you.